"90 years ago, the Virginia Farm Bureau made our local farmers a promise to protect and preserve a way of life they work so hard to establish. Today, our insurance agents work to protect all Virginians, not just farmers. We want to keep Virginia, Virginia." More information is at farmbureauadvantage.com.
Hi everybody, welcome to Virginia Farming. I'm Amy Rocher. Today we travel to Woodstock, Virginia to get some insight on Jerry's gourmet berries. Then Mark Viette has tips on summer pruning in the garden. We'll also have the Ag Calendar, a Minute in the Field video, and of course your Ag News of the Week, all on this edition of Virginia Farming. Gregory Lumber Incorporated will expand its sawmill operations in Pittsylvania County. The company will create 3 new jobs in the county and source 75% of its timber needs from Virginia landowners. That's nearly $8 million worth of Virginia forest products. Gregory Lumber will invest $3 million in construction and equipment needed to add an automated lumber sorting system that will increase production by 50%. Forestry is one of Virginia's largest private industries, responsible for an $18 billion economic impact annually and more than 100,000 jobs. Well, Virginia farmers expect to harvest 11.7 million bushels of winter wheat this year, and that's down 16% from the previous year. The forecast was based on crop conditions as of June 1st. Now, growers expect a yield of 63 bushels per acre, which is down 3 bushels from 2015. The national yield is forecast to be up 8 bushels from last year, and if realized, this will be the highest yield on record for the United States. With proper nutrition and a strict vaccination program, producers can set their cow herd on a path towards added profit. Bob Cervera reports how investments in herd health bring real dollars back to the farm or ranch.
Health drives profit for cattle. Paired with the right nutrition, they can earn money on carcass merit. On the other hand, ignoring health plans can set up a series of unfortunate events.
My goal as a veterinarian is first prevent that first domino from falling, not treat the calf as it's falling off the cliff.
Most recent data from Iowa's Tri-County Steer Carcass Futurity shows calves treated for bovine respiratory disease are $111 behind those that never needed a shot. Another treatment, and that number goes to $365 in the red.
If a calf gets sick in the feedlot, their data shows that the chances of that calf making a profit are very minimal. And in fact, with the price increase that we've seen for fed cattle over the last 5 to 6 years, those numbers are even greater.
The veterinary professor says it's all the way back to when the calf is in utero that the clock actually begins running.
The feedlot is not the place to start the health program. It's too late. If that's the very first time that calf has somebody saying, we're going to help you with your health for the rest of your life, we are way too late.
Cow nutrition, preconditioning, a balanced ration and yard at weaning. Each carry success and dollars down the line and help eliminate sickness in a herd, which Hilton says is very possible.
The goal should be 0 sick animals every single year. You know, are we going to hit that every year? Of course not. We're going to have a case of pink eye or foot rot. But I have herds that I've worked with for 18 years in Indiana at Purdue that have never had a calf scour, never had a case of calf scours.
It's a long-term goal, but those who commit to it year after year can find happy endings. I'm Bob Cervera.
Thanks, Bob. In 1619, English colonists discovered wild strawberries near Cape Henry. The berries were larger than the wild European varieties that had been prized for centuries. The Virginia strawberry was soon cultivated and shipped to England. Now, according to the USDA, in the early 1700s, a French spy scouting Spanish military forts in Chile sent another strawberry variety home. It also was larger than its European counterparts. But the Chilean variety didn't thrive in France until it was planted next to the Virginia variety, creating another variety which is known as the ancestor of all modern strawberries. Today, strawberries are still important in the part of Virginia that gave birth to the modern fruit. Last year, strawberry sales generated just under $1 million in cash receipts for 16 growers in the Virginia Beach area. Strawberries also are important to agriculture because they were one of the first plants deliberately modified through selective breeding. Well, strawberries are just one of many varieties of berries grown in Woodstock. Jerry Fields has grown his passion for berries and their health benefits into a thriving business, Jerry's Gourmet Berries. That's straight ahead on Ag Insights. So today we're in Woodstock, Virginia, and we're visiting Jerry's Gourmet Berries. And I'm joined by Jerry Fields, the owner and proprietor of Jerry's Gourmet Berries. Jerry, thank you so much for having us out.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
You have a beautiful place here.
Well, thank you. I really enjoy it.
Mountain views as far as the eye can see.
Absolutely.
Give us a little bit of background about your business. How long have you been growing and selling berries?
When I retired from my aerospace career about five-ish years ago, I was looking around and I decided to start a berry business. And I've been gradually increasing the scope of it. It's getting close to where I wanted it to be now. I've got about 3.5 acres under production.
Give us a little bit of history about you, about your background, and how you came to decide to start a berry farm.
Well, I was born out in California. I went to school at MIT, and then I went to the Air Force where I was a propulsion engineer, the infamous rocket scientist. And then I spent a lot of time in propulsion, or ended up traveling around the world a lot looking for technologies. And especially in Russia, I spent a lot of time in Russia because they had some really neat technologies that our company had licensed. And when I got out of the Air Force, and out of the aerospace arena, I was looking for something to keep me active and keep me busy. And I had become intrigued in my travels all over the world about berries seemed to be one of the common denominators for people that were healthy.
And why organic? Why was being certified organic important to you?
But the whole issue of organic is a difficult one, because if you think about the whole issue of conventional gardening production, you use herbicides and pesticides. Well, what are those things designed to do? They're designed to kill life, be it bugs or be it plant weeds. That's what they are. They're basically chemicals that are designed to kill life. You spend a lot of time, and science does, trying to figure out ways to mitigate that. For instance, sun will, over time, will cause pesticides to not be effective, and blah, blah, blah. The mass between a bug and a human is 1,000 times bigger. So what's lethal to a bug isn't necessarily lethal to a human. But again, the problem is the subtleness of DNA damage says you really have to do experiments over several lifetimes to prove that you're not damaging the DNA, because most diseases show up long-term that way. Well, humans live 80 years, that's 300 years. Well, by the time you find out, oh, that was a bad idea.
Right.
Everybody's dead.
A little late.
Yeah, that's right. So that's the long, I guess it wasn't a short answer, but a long answer to your question. I think it's important. I really do. I think it has significant health implications. I certainly wouldn't want my granddaughter to eat, things that potentially could cause her that much physical harm.
Sure.
And the autism study really struck home to me.
So how many types of berries do you grow here?
We grow at least, 5 different types, but we grow several versions of the same. We do 2 kinds of blueberries, pink and blue. There is a pink blueberry, and it's remarkable. It's brilliant pink. We grow 4 different kinds of raspberries: black, purple, the ordinary red, and yellow. And the yellow is really phenomenal. We grow, of course, strawberries, and we have aronias. We grow blackberries. So those are the 5.
Okay. Well, you mentioned aronia, and that's a newer berry, at least to the market and to you. But it's a berry that you picked up on really quickly. And why is that?
Well, I became interested in it because if you look at again, going to the health studies, a lot of which were done in Eastern Europe. You got to learn all those fancy Eastern European names if you're doing that kind of research. It's amazing. But one of the things you found is their studies show that it has incredible efficacy in things like cancer, diabetes. It is very powerful in terms of stabilizing blood sugar for diabetics. And a number of other diseases, and it has the key compound that's effective in that, and it's also effective in blueberries and black raspberries and things like that, is anthocyanin. And it's a phytochemical that has very powerful medicinal properties. And it's available in aronias at a level that's 4 or 5 times higher than blueberries. It is off the charts in terms of its amount of anthocyanin. And so I became interested in that, and it turns out that it's relatively easy to grow. It has a lot of tannin, so if you're putting in a muffin, you have to put brown sugar and stuff to make it palatable. But we mostly have found the success is making juice out of it, because you can sweeten the juice with stevia, which is a very good natural sweetener, and it tastes good, and it has huge medicinal properties. And we've been able to pretty much sell out all the juice we can make from. I started out with 7 plants, and now that I know what the benefit is, we're increasing production.
Add more?
Oh yeah, we were adding another 2 rows, and we're going to add about 10 more rows eventually.
Now, where all do you sell your berries?
We sell our berries primarily. Initially, we were selling them through farmers markets, and my strategy was I'd set up a presence in an area with a farmers market and then do deliveries, so people could sign up for weekly deliveries. And after we did the market, we'd go make the deliveries, so we'd already pay for the gas to go in. And we've also now, as we've increased production, we've found several wholesale people that want to buy larger quantities. We sell for the food co-op in Harrisonburg, and they pretty much buy all the berries I'll let them have. And then we also have begun to sell to gourmet restaurants. We've found that there's a very good market for that.
Okay.
So we're expanding that. So.
Keeping you busy.
Yeah, well, we're trying to do it incrementally, little by little. I'm trying to not, get ahead of myself. It's supposed to be a retirement business, so I don't want it to get to be too much work.
To me, it seems like it's a very labor-intensive process all the way around with as many berries as you have. How many people do you have working for you?
Well, of course, right now that depends on the season.
Right.
In the height of the season, I usually have one person that helps with the maintenance, and then one that 2 or 3 that do picking. Picking is the biggest issue in labor, and it makes a difference between being successful financially or going broke. If you can get a good picker and you prune the vines for good presentation to the picker, which means at about arm level so they don't have to bend over or reach up. A good picker can pick between 15 and 20 cartons an hour. If you can get a picker that does that, you'll make a lot of money. If they have to hunt and peck, it drops down to below 10 and you start losing money. So picking should be about 20% of your total revenue cost.
Okay.
And so that's the one thing that I would tell anybody that's thinking about berries is focus on picking and making it efficient for the picker.
Sure. Now, you did something different with your greenhouse using mirrors.
Yeah,
Can you share that with us?
Sure. The 2 things that I did there are 2 problems with the greenhouse. One is the fact that, that if you aren't careful, you end up spending so much money heating them that you don't make any profit, number 1. Number 2, the light intensity in the winter is a lot less. The angle of the sun is lower in the atmosphere, and so basically it attenuates a lot of the light before it gets to you. That's why it's cold in the winter. And so to solve those 2 problems, I came up with a concept where part of the greenhouse is sunk into the ground because you actually don't grow anything below the table level you start with. So you don't need the light down there, and it cuts down the energy loss. And in the north side, we insulate because again, there's no light coming in there. And then we use mirrors on the wall so that it increases the concentration of light by factor 2. And so you end up now getting a high enough intensity that you can grow some of the summer crops that you would not be otherwise be able to grow.
Okay.
And so we tried it in a demo unit, and then it worked out well. So we're building a first production unit this coming year.
So all that rocket science background is coming into
Yeah,
coming
thermal
into
1
pretty
and 2.
handy, isn't it?
Thermal 1 and 2.
I know birds would have to be a problem on a berry farm. How do you thwart that problem?
Well, I used to use nets, which are a pain in you know what. But we found a new technology that was developed in Australia for the grape growers for the wine industry down there. And I got intrigued by it last year and was able to acquire some of it. It's called a humming wire. And basically what it is, it's a stretched plastic wire that, when tuned to the right frequency with the right tension, emits a sound, even if it's only a 1 mile per hour wind, which we have on top of a hill. We have that all the time. It makes a sound that the birds just can't stand. And apparently, because it worked all season long, we didn't lose any berries last year. We used that exclusively. And it's not something that the birds seem to get the ability to get used to. If you put those little funny balloons and stuff, they just get used to them after a while. But this is something that apparently is very primal, and that they just can't get used to it. So they literally, you'd see the birds come in and turn around and fly away. They wouldn't even land.
Wow.
So that was we were real happy to find that, because that is a big problem.
Is there a national or a Virginia Berry Association that you belong to, where everybody comes in and shares their ideas, or where do you learn all your information?
Well, there's really several. In Virginia, there's the Virginia Berry Growers Association, which I'm on the executive board for. And the purpose of that organization is just that, to provide a resource within the state that farmers can go to and have problems and find solutions. We are in the process of trying to expand that to make it easier for ordinary consumers who are interested in berries to be able to go on the website and put in where their address is, and be able to find out where the sources of berries are, whether it's pick your own or organic or whatever, or farmers markets, where they literally can find out where they can get berries. And also to have a section on the website that goes into the health benefits of berries. The book I wrote was called A Berries and Eater's Guide to, or Eater's Guide to Berry. There's 2 versions. And it was specifically written to make it easy for the ordinary common consumer to go in there and find out what all the scientific studies have said without having to wade through a lot of scientific stuff. And it's sold really well. It's available on Amazon. It's also available on my website. But it really has done that. And what we want to do is get a lot of that same information and put it on the website. Okay. And so that would be another source of places that you can get.
Share that website with our viewers.
It's jerrysgourmetberries.com.
Okay.
And you can also order berries on the website. We do that. We deliver within certain areas that we go to anyways.
Well, I guess my final question is, what's your favorite berry to eat?
My favorite berry to eat is probably yellow raspberries.
And why is that?
They have a flavor that's unique. It's a cross between a mango and a berry.
Really?
And they really are big sellers in the farmers markets because they are so unusual. Now, the healthiest berry, of course, is aronias and blueberries, and I love blueberries, but my granddaughter's favorite berry is blueberry. She'll eat me at house and home before it's all over. So.
I've got to keep an eye on her.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Jerry, thank you so much for having us out today. It's been a pleasure.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
We'll be right back. Pruning trees and shrubs in the summer months can be very beneficial to those plants. With tips, here's Mark Viette.
As you walk through your garden, you might notice plants like this, plants which have been damaged by woodpeckers, and in this case this is a viburnum, and the woodpeckers were looking for borers. There's only a couple main trunks left, the rest we've removed. You'll see lots of nice new growth coming up from the base. Midsummer pruning is great for fruit trees, apples, especially pears, because when you do a midsummer pruning, you don't get a lot of new excessive growth. Now, I find by walking through the garden in the summer, I'll miss things that normally I would have done the rejuvenation pruning in March, but I find midsummer is an excellent time. And in this case, I would come in and remove these 4 main trunks and start over. And in about 3 years, I'm going to have a beautiful viburnum about my height. It's really easy to do. I always recommend that you walk around your tree or shrub 3 or 4 times, because once you make the cut, it's done. You can't put it back together again. When you're looking even at your trees, consider cleaning them up, make them look more attractive. And in this case, on the Blue Atlas cedar, to look at more of these major trunks, I might come in and even remove this small limb right here. Paying attention to the garden really helps reveal lots of things. And one of those things might be dead, dying branches, and this is a fringe tree. It's already being pruned and we're removing the dead branches, but I'm looking at it now and I'm seeing a lot of dead branches. At the same time, it's not attractive. There are certain trees that you can come in and cut them back. Now, this is not one I would cut back to the ground, but I might go ahead and cut this back to about 5 feet and let it regrow. But again, study your plants, you do some research online, look at some books to make sure at least what you're going to do is not going to kill your plant. On this fringe tree, you can see lots of nice basal growth coming up from the bottom and mid part of this tree. Midsummer pruning helps reduce excessive growth. If I had pruned this early in the year, it would probably have 3 times as many shoots. This is a branch I cut about a month ago, and it looks nice, and this will continue to give me the tree. This is one that I'm going to prune. It's been damaged here on the side, and some of the branches up top are dead, so I would come in and prune this. Always when you're pruning, wear protective eyewear, goggles. Remember, branches are very heavy, and they can weigh hundreds of pounds, but I would come in, remove this branch here, and then again down here lower, and let this turn back into, let some of these, and probably this one here will turn into this branch in about 3 years. Wow, it really looks like I damaged this tree, but I can tell you, the original tree will thank me that I pruned it this way. 5 years from now, it's going to look better than ever. Don't be afraid of summer pruning. I'm Mark Viette. Join me next time in the garden.
Taking a look at the ag calendar, the Northern Piedmont Beginning Farmer Program will hold its first Junior Beginning Farmer Program in July and August for youth in grades 9 through 12 who are interested in agricultural careers. The free program will be held at the Fauquier Education Farm. The program will consist of evening classes and farm tours. It will also introduce the Virginia Beginning Farmer and Rancher curriculum. Registration must be completed by July 22nd, and you can register at the web address on your screen or contact Jim Hankins for more information. That does it for our show. Thanks so much for watching and have a great week. I'm Amy Rocher for Virginia Farming.
90 years ago, the Virginia Farm Bureau made our local farmers a promise to protect and preserve a way of life they work so hard to establish. We want to keep Virginia, Virginia. Anyone can be a Farm Bureau member, and there's a local Farm Bureau in every county. More information is at vafarmbureau.org.